Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Kulkarni. So in the last session we have started the 8th chapter of 10th standard history, that is tourism and history, and in that we have seen what is tourism and the different types of tourism. Okay, so the tourism is that if you're traveling from one place to another place with a special reason, that is called as tourism. And there are different types of tourism. We have seen in the last session local tourism and interstate tourism, where much more problem you will not be facing, because you know no need to go for the visa, no need to show the passport, any documents, and there won't be any linguistic problems also. If you're staying if you're traveling within the country, then you might be knowing the language. Okay, then we have seen the different types of tourism, like agro based tourism, sports tourism. Okay, and now today we are going to continue with the tourism based on special events. Okay, we have seen tourism, basically it is promoting to travel the people from one place to another place, and if the people are traveling from one place to another place to attend the special events, then that type of tourism is called as tourism based on special events. Like if any melas are organized, or if any like cultural events are being organized, then the participants should go to that place. Like if we have film fair, or film festivals, or any literature related functions, award functions, seminars. So then the people used to travel from one place to another place. For example, if a seminar is conducted in Japan, like the topic is the recent technologies in the field of space, then the people from India, if they want to participate in that event, then definitely they have to travel from here to Japan. Then when the people are traveling from here to there and definitely they have a purpose that they want to attend the seminar, but whether it is restricted only to attend the seminar, no, but actually what happens after attending it, definitely they'll move somewhere. They go and they see the famous places which are there in Japan. So that is how promoting the tourism. So this is what actually concept is. People want to travel and they are often on the lookout for special reasons to do it, isn't it? So we need a reason to travel. Either any of the reasons, like health reason, for health purpose, or for agriculture purpose, for business purpose, or for vacation. So whenever we get time, we feel like we want to travel, or we want to go somewhere and chill out. So we need a reason. In 21st century, it has become a common to organize such events, which also help to promote tourism. Film festivals, various types of seminars and conferences, international book exhibitions, etc. are example of such special events. Like in India, you can have if I give you the better example, so if you watch the DD Bharati, so there every year, so one function is organized where the people from India, every corner of India, they come and they do their regional art. So they perform that regional art. So that means definitely people, they are moving, they are traveling for that particular purpose to attend the festival, isn't it? So like that. So in nowadays, not only in India, but if you want to go, you can. If these functions be organized somewhere else, then definitely, if the event, wherever the events are organized, the people should go there. And whenever they go, they not only they attend only that particular event, and along with that, definitely after that they may be going go out after that event and see the different places which are the famous places which are there. People keep visiting several places to attend such special events. Many literature enthusiasts in the Maharashtra level every year to attend Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sahitya Sammelan, and then we have Pan India Marathi Literature Convention. So this is what, I already told that in India we every year the government of India organize a function, that is Atulya Bharat. okay, where the people from different regions of India, they gather at one place and they perform their regional art. Okay, and in Maharashtra, that is Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sahitya Sammelan is organized from where the people from different places of Maharashtra, they come and gather at that place, and definitely they attend that event, and along with that they will visit the different places which are famous at that region. Okay, so what I mean exactly, the tourism based on the special event is like just to if you want to go to publish a paper, to attend a seminar or a conference. Okay, so these are the special events, and definitely they will travel to attend that event, and after that remaining time they visit the places which are very famous in that place. Okay, and next you have development of tourism. See, for example, the best example is Cannes. Okay, so Cannes is the film festival where the people travel, the celebrities travel from this place to wherever the Cannes is being organized, and definitely after that they may be roaming and sightseeing that area, isn't it? If I can give you the example of Filmfare Award. So this Filmfare Award has been organized in different places in the world. Then definitely people will travel from India to that place just to attend that award function, and along with that they will be visiting the places in that area. Okay, then we have development of tourism. Okay, and we have seen what is tourism, we have different types of tourism. Okay, and in last 9th standard also we have seen exactly how tourism affects the development of country, how it affects economy of the country, isn't it? Then definitely the tourism should be promoted. Okay, see, and it should be developed. How exactly? See, and let us make a let us review it once again. Why exactly the development of tourism is required? See, every time I give an example. See, if Indians are visiting Taj Mahal, okay, so if for us the entry fees may be 50 rupees. Okay, and if the foreigner is coming, then for them entry rupees is 300 rupees. Then definitely that money is going to the government, and definitely government will use that money for our development. Or next, if the foreign people are coming, okay, and for example, if you take something, if you are going to Banaras, okay, and if they are coming over here, then definitely when they come to Banaras, they look at the places, they enjoy everything, and after that they may be purchasing some handicrafts which are famous at that area, isn't it? With which our people will get the employment and their products will be sold, isn't it? Okay, so that foreign money is coming to our country, and definitely the economical development of the country will be done in improved. And I gave you the example of Bidri work also. It's very world famous, and that handicrafts you will not get anywhere in the world. Okay, so here as it's been produced locally, okay, in Bidar, and if the foreigners are coming and if they are purchasing our goods, then definitely it is promoting the handicrafts of the local people, and money is coming to the people, isn't it? So it definitely it's in developing the economical status of the country, isn't it? Then the crucial issue in the development of tourism is providing proper guidance to national and international tourists about various aspects of the actual travel, proper social conduct during the tour and during their stay at the destination places. See, we have seen, if we promote the tourism, then definitely it will increase the economical status of the country. Then it should be made sure that if the people are traveling nationally or internationally, the tourists are coming, then definitely the things should be taken care, that the proper conduct should be done, the behavior with those people should be good, you should not cheat the people, isn't it? And you should properly guide them, and we should give the proper facilities. Okay, and if they are coming, because if they are coming and staying over here and going back, then definitely they may be giving reviews to others. Okay, we should provide the facilities, hospitality to them in such a way that they should go out and they should tell good things about us, and they should send 10 people. Okay, so like that the facility should be given. It should not happen like they have come and we have cheated them, okay, and we have we have robbed them, for instance, and when they go back, and if they feel like our facility, our services were not good, and whenever they go back, whether they recommend others to go and come to our place, isn't it? So that time, what I mean here, the whenever the tourist, whenever we have the concept of development of tourism, then being a responsible citizen, we should know the responsibility that we should how to conduct the how to behave with them, isn't it? How to provide a good facility. We should not cheat them. Okay, the hospitality should be good, such that they can have a good review about us, and they can, and when they go out, they should give a good review, such that more and more people should will come, and they will definitely, when the more people will come, the tourism will increase. When the tourism will increase, then the economical development of the country will happen, isn't it? And then giving priority to ensure safe transport and security facilities for the tourist. Okay, amenities of responsible, good standards, availability of good accommodation, good washroom facility on the travel routes, the great significance of promoting tourism. Okay, so the people are, whenever they are coming, we should make it sure that the transportation facility should be secured and it should be safe. The amenities of the reasonable good standards, the availability of food, availability of accommodation, the washroom, everything. Okay, it should be made it sure that they should be comfortable, as they have come from their place to our place to stay, isn't it? So it's our responsibility as Indians, we say in India, Atithi Devo Bhava. So they should be treated in a good manner. So we should give a proper facilities to them. Okay, it is also very important to pay us the social attention to the special needs of a handicapped tourist. If any handicapped tourists are coming, then we should give the special attention to them, if they have any problem, the proper medical facilities should be given. Okay, and if they need some special facilities for the handicaps, like if they can't walk, and there are so many reasons, so the special attention should be given, the special care should be given, such that they should feel good, and whenever they go back to their places, then they should promote, they should tell the people to go, okay, to that place, isn't it? Then see, if I give you the best example, when the attack was happened on that Taj Hotel, then that time Mr. Ratan Tata was present on that place, at that place, and making sure that all the foreign tourists are being safe, and they are going to their place, properly. So he was looking after that. That means the good hospitality. Okay, the people who were staying in his hotel, okay, so he was making sure that the people, they are going to their place securely. So this kind of caring we should show them, such that they should feel they should come back again. Okay, it is essential that few things should be avoided at any instance. For example, vandalizing or defacing the heritage monuments and sites. Okay, and see, so the people are coming, we are paying respect, we are looking after their safety of transportation, accommodation, food. Okay, we are providing all the facilities, we are giving special facilities to the handicapped tourists and everything. But whenever they are coming, it is very important for us that not to vandalize the heritage monuments or the sites which we have, or whatever they have, whatever they want to see, and where they have come, that should not be spoiled. Okay, what is our tendency? Like if you go to Lucknow, so there everywhere you can see the walls are in red color. Why? Because people eat pan and they split here and there. So there you can't recognize where exactly where is a red color paint or where is the pan bala thuk. Okay, so that should not happen. And if you go at some places, where the people are having the habit of carving their name on the tree, carving their name on the monuments. Okay, so many people, they go to watch the history, and these people they go and write their name as a history on that. If you see, there are so many rubbish names, okay, on the stones, on the wall, on the trees. So that should not happen. The people from foreign, they are coming to see the sites, the monuments, the history of your country. And if we are not safeguarding them, if we are only spoiling them, and if we are only writing the dirty things, like we are doing dirty, then that will not attract the tourist, isn't it? So in order to avoid it, everybody should refrain from activities like writing on walls or carving on trees, paint ancient monuments in garish color, isn't it? People usually does this. Lack of good amenities in the present of the heritage sites causes filthiness. So it doesn't look good, even if you see some ornament places, people go and split here and there. So that should not be done. It is very essential for the tourists that pamphlets, guides and history books about the tourist site be available in their own language. Hence such literature should be made available in various languages. See, whenever we say international tourism, so there the people are traveling from the different countries, and where the language is different, like America, Britain, they may be talking English, or then we have Italian, we have Spanish, we have French, isn't it? So if they are coming over here, then they will be understanding our history if it is explained in their language, isn't it? So different pamphlets, the tourist guides, okay, handbooks should be made available. The literary documents or the papers should be made available in their languages, such that they can understand it very easily, isn't it? So it would be helpful if the taxi drivers are trained to conserve in more than one languages. See, because if I take the example of India, and if the French people are coming here to see the different places in India, and we know Indians, we know Hindi. If we know only Hindi, then those French people will not know, they may not be knowing Hindi. And if our taxi driver, if he knows French, then it will be much better for them to conserve, isn't it? To have the communication, isn't it? So the taxi driver should be trained, the guides should be trained in different languages, the different pamphlets and handbooks should be provided to those people in their language, such that they can see the places comfortably and they can understand our history. So they may also be trained as a tourist guides. So tourist guides should be trained in different languages, taxi drivers should be trained in different languages. Okay, and if you see, nowadays it's been very easy. Like, nowadays we have become smart. Like if you go to some places, like I have seen somewhere in the Taj Mahal or in the Jaipur, okay, Rajasthan, so where the guides are knowing more than 4 to 5 languages, Spanish, Italian, okay, English, so Japanese, even Japanese also. So whenever those country people they come, so those guides explain our history in their language. Okay, then conservation and preservation of heritage. See, we have, so India is, it's very rich, both naturally as well as man-made. It has so natural heritage also, and man-made monuments, historical places. So India is blessed. So India has lots of tourist places. So when we have tourist places, so it is our and we on one part on just a second. See, on one part, India is blessed naturally as well as historically. It is blessed with so much tourist places, and on the another hand, tourism provides lots of professional opportunities. Tourism promotes the economical development of the country. Then it is directly proportional that those historical places should be conserved and preserved. Okay, not only historical places, the tourist places should be conserved and preserved. It is a hard task to preserve and conserve heritage sites, because as we say, like tourist place and different types of people from all over the world may be coming. It is really difficult to maintain, but it is difficult, but it is not that impossible thing, because if we make the people aware and educated, and if we tell the people about the importance of preserving and conservation of the heritage, then definitely we will be developing the tourism, and it indirectly it's developing the country's economical status. Our country is very rich in historical sites dating to ancient, medieval and modern period. Ancient, like the mythological, then medieval, like the different emperors, and the modern India we have seen the ninth standard. Okay, it is also blessed with the abundance of nature. Heritage of any country is divided into two, that is natural heritage and cultural heritage. Cultural means the man-made. Okay, natural heritage is geographical tourism. Cultural is like then your historical tourism or health tourism or sports tourism. Okay, there are some heritage sites in India. We have very famous, there are a number of famous heritage sites in India, like such as Taj Mahal at Agra, Jantar Mantar Observatory at Jaipur, and also the rock cut caves at Ajanta, Ellora. We have seen also Ajanta, Ellora, Gharapuri. It is Elephanta. It's an island kind of thing. A place is there near Mumbai. Then we have Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Railway Terminal. That is very famous, known as CST. Okay. Then Khas Plateau in Maharashtra is located in the Western Ghats. Okay, the Khas Plateau is basically there you have only flowers. Okay, so which are the natural heritage sites, and these there are tourists all over the world. They come and visit these places. Okay, then this is what you have, the Ajanta caves and Elephanta caves. Okay, we wish to visit World Heritage Sites. Foreign tourists come in large numbers to visit the heritage sites in our country. So last time I think we have visited Ellora. So there we have seen, like as number of Indians are coming to see those places, even it's been attracted by the even foreigners are coming over there to see those places. Then it makes us feel proud when the Indian heritage site is declared as World Heritage Site. Okay, World Heritage Site, matlab the different it has got such an importance. Okay, however, whenever we visit such places, we feel disappointed, because what we see there, we get to see people have written their names with charcoal and have drawn pictures vandalizing the heritage sites. So this is what the Indian tendency, so we are so much blessed with the natural and cultural heritage. Okay, cultural sites, like naturally we have so beautiful places, and culturally we have a strong history. So but unfortunately whenever we go to that places, and we feel disappointed when we see the people are writing their names with the charcoal, with the paint, they are carving on the walls, they are carving on the trees. Okay, they are making the places dirty. Okay, so that will affect, and whenever and this kind of things are being done, it will affect the image of the country, image of the nature, and they will see how dirty it is, isn't it? And if you take your example, if you go to some place, okay, so if everything is beautiful, but at some corner if something is dirty, then how it gives an impact, so that kind of feeling the people will have. To preserve the heritage site, we need to resolve the things. Okay, so we should take some precautions, or some strict action should be taken to preserve the heritage. I shall strive to maintain the cleanliness of heritage site, which is very important. So cleanliness always attracts people attention, isn't it? So nobody want to go to a dirty place. So we should make it sure that the heritage site should be maintained clean. I shall not do anything which will result in vandalizing of any historical site. Vandalizing means spoiling. So we should not we should not commit anything which will vandalize, which will spoil the cultural heritage site. Okay, then next, the most important is professional opportunities in the tourism and hospitality industry. So this in detail we have seen in the last 9th standard in geography. So if I take the best example, the simple example of professional opportunities. So in the last year also, we like in 9th standard we have discussed about Kedarnath, isn't it? A very famous pilgrim center, for Indians. So Kedarnath, then definitely if we are planning to go to Kedarnath, the first thing is that we will see when we are going and how we are going. How we are going, we have road transport, we have railways, we have buses, we have flights, isn't it? So if we are, so either the mode, if you see, definitely you are giving, promoting that employment, isn't it? And assume if you are going through bus, then the tourist agency, then you are promoting your they then definitely that tourist agency is having, having profit, so they will have the professional, you're promoting their profession, isn't it? Then next, when you go and reach there, the next question is where to stay. Then you are supporting the hotel management, hospitality management. Okay, if you stay there, and next is food, then definitely you are going for that, food industry, you are helping the food industry. Okay, and after reaching there, then definitely you will be looking for pandit for doing puja. Then definitely you are supporting that profession also. And whenever you are going for puja, then definitely you will be purchasing some coconut, flowers, dhoop, agarbatti, something like that. So that time you are promoting the professions of the local people, isn't it? So you are doing puja and coming back, and whenever you are coming back and you are purchasing some special things which are speciality of that area, then you are promoting the handicrafts, the arts of that area, isn't it? So like this, directly or indirectly you are providing so many professional opportunities. So if I take in another example of if you are visiting Rajasthan, okay, then definitely the mode of transport will give professional opportunities. The transport people, then hotel management people if you are staying somewhere, then food, if you are going for food, and if you are looking for and somebody is foodie, then definitely if they go to that region, they are looking for the specialty, the special food of that region, then maybe they are going to the restaurant that will promote the food industry. Then if we are visiting the site in Rajasthan, then we are hiring the guides. Then guides, there also we are providing the professional opportunities, and the taxi drivers, isn't it? Then if we are going to if I going to Rajasthan, definitely I'll be purchasing the handicrafts over there. Then art and handicraft people, they will be providing the professional opportunities, isn't it? So directly or indirectly, so we will promoting lots of professional opportunities in that field of tourism. Okay, this is a big industry. But the question may be asked, now this lockdown period, okay, and here now if you are not coming out of the home only, then there is no question of tourism. But you can think how exactly corona affected the tourism, and how exactly this corona affected the tourism, and indirectly how it's affecting economy of the country. And definitely till this corona effect, definitely for next 1 or 1.5 year, maybe nobody traveling from one place to another place, isn't it? So think on that. Then tourism and hospitality is an industry with potential to create maximum employment opportunities if managed professionally. Okay, that should be managed professionally, for time pass. So if whenever we say the proper the facilities or the services should be given, it is very stable industry. It has tremendous scope of experimentation and innovation. So if you see the movie Kedarnath, so you can understand there, okay, how exactly it's been promoted. A good number of opportunities of employment are available in the tourism and hospitality industries, and we have already discussed. The country which is a tourist destination begin to receive revenue even before a tourist arrives in the form of visa. At the airport of that country, he has to pay his visa. Visa is, entry fees. He spends for his travel, stay in hotel, food, payments for translators and guides, buying newspapers, reference books, then souvenirs. Then this contribution to the growth of the economy of the country. So this we have seen in detail. Okay, then we have seen the articraft also. Our markets in the vicinity grow along with the development of the tourist center. Hence, local handicraft and cottage industries also began to develop. The demands for locally processed food items and ethnic handicrafts increases. It results in better income for local artisans, business people, and wage earners, isn't it? So already we have discussed how if I go to definitely wherever the place we visit, if the foodie people definitely look for what's the famous food over here. Okay, if you go to Kashmir, you will be looking for Wazwan. Okay, the special thali of that Kashmir, and the Kashmiri, Pashmina work, handicrafted work on the clothes and all. So these are the different examples. And if you go to Banarasi sari, if you go to Mysore silk, Mysore sandal, okay, the different products, the handicrafts, art, okay, so this, and the food industry. So these are the different industries being promoted. So what I mean exactly, see, the food industry is the biggest industry which can provide lots of the professional opportunities. Then in the next session we will be seeing development of tourism in Maharashtra. Okay, and if you have till now, if you have any doubts, you can ask me on WhatsApp. Thank you.